Now that I have my state diagram, I can go on to create my next state table. First thing I'm going to do is go to our next state on the far right here and fill in the names for what state the input will produce. So for this first one, I can see that it's in state A and the input is X. Well, I know for my state diagram, the input is 0. I know for my state diagram, if A receives an input of 0, it just goes to A. And then for the second one, the input is 1, and I know if A has an input of 1 here, then it goes to B. Now that I've filled in all my next state names, I'm going to fill in the values for next state Q2, Q1, and Q0, because I know the codes for all of the states. They're just these green numbers here. In addition to filling in all the Q2, Q1, and Q0 next state values, I can also fill in my final output Z. I can see that, I'll put a little star right there. I only get a final output high when H receives a input of 1 and it goes to A. That's when I get my gumball. So I know that when H receives an input of 1 here, then I will get my output of 1. And all the other ones will be zeros. So now that I know what state I'm starting in and what state I'm going to, and each values for each of the Qs, I can put in my values for the flip-flops for what kind of change I want in between the states. Now I've completed all my flip-flop inputs for each flip-flop, and I just used X for any of the inputs where it didn't matter whether it was a 1 or a 0. All that mattered was the other input. Now that I've completed my next state table, I can move on to create my Boolean equations.